Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Houston Sports Talk back into the video today. And today, the Chicago Bulls have acquired Kevin Huerter from the Sacramento Kings. Obviously, a huge blockbuster trade that we just witnessed. I'm going to go over details really quickly. I just wanted to talk about Chicago Bulls aspect of it real quick. Spurs received Fox and McLaughlin from the Kings. Kings received Zach LaVine, Cisco. From the Spurs. 3 first-round picks, one that belongs to Charlotte, one belongs to San Antonio, one belongs to Minnesota. 3 first-round picks going to Sacramento, and 3 second-round picks going to Sacramento as well. One of those is their own pick, so that's good. It's their own pick in 2028, so that's definitely a good asset to get. And then getting into the Bulls, they received Zach LaVine and Trey Jones. I already did a separate video talking about them receiving Zach Collins and Trey Jones. But they also get Kevin Huerter, who we're going to be talking about in this video, and then their own 2025 draft pick back. I'm not a big fan of this trade for Chicago at all. I mean, look, I know Zach LaVine has a terrible contract and that scared teams, but let's look at the fact that the fact that the Sacramento Kings got for their All-Star, who only has 1 year left on his deal after this season, 3 first-round picks, 3 second-round picks, and a 2-time All-Star, who's having just as good a season this year as Fox is. And then, what do the Bulls get when they trade their All-Star, who's just as good as the All-Star the Kings traded? They get, no disrespect to Huerter, Collins, or Jones, because I like all 3 players, but compared to what the Kings got, and I'm not trying to sound like Flight Reacts here, because he's if you ask me, not very knowledgeable NBA person. But they got a bag of chips compared to what the Kings got for their All-Star. But that's no disrespect to Kevin Huerter, Trey Jones, or Zach Collins, because they're all great players. I actually like all 3 of them. And look, it's solid you got your own second-round pick back, because now if you continue to tank this year and you become a worse team, you get a better draft pick. So that's nice, but it's a second-round pick. I just think it's disappointing. I think this is a good trade for the Bulls if they get a first-round draft pick, but they didn't. And that's what they wanted. They wanted to add in a first-round draft pick. We heard this high demand of 2 first-round picks for Alex Caruso. Then it went down to 1. Then they make the trade and get Giddey. They don't get any draft picks at all from the team that has the most draft capital in the NBA. And then that upset them. And we've heard this season, in their trade rumors, they regret not getting any draft picks. And now they want draft picks for Vucevic and LaVine. And they want a first-round pick for LaVine and a first-round pick for Vucevic. What do they do when they trade LaVine? All they get is a second-round pick. That's the huge disappointing part for me. I like Kevin Huerter. This year he's had a little bit of a disappointing season, 8-2. Shooting numbers have gone way down to 30%. But this is a guy who's a 37% career three-point shooter. It's a guy who averaged 15-3 a couple seasons ago, shooting 40% from 3. He's always, besides this season, has always been a great three-point shooter. And I think when you have a guy like Josh Giddey, who's such a good facilitator, having a sharpshooter like Kevin Huerter on this team, when you also have Kobe White, that can be dangerous for Josh Giddey as a facilitator. And I like Zach Collins, very solid back at big that can be a solid part of their future if Vucevic is about to get traded. So Collins, I like. I like Jones as a backup point guard, even though he hasn't had the strongest year. And I like Huerter as well, and I like that they're getting their own draft pick back. I think this is a perfect trade for the Bulls if you're getting Huerter, Jones, and Collins, and with them you're getting a first-round pick. Or at least a bunch of other second-round picks, but it's only 1 second. Did they value their own second-round draft pick that high? It doesn't make sense to me, but solid trade, I guess. Let me know your thoughts on the trade in the comment section, and peace out.